All right, welcome in Rock Hard Music. I am Rob, your host. Let's go through today some music news. I've kind of held off to see if we can gather some bulky stuff up here instead of just a hit or two. We got Wolfgang Van Halen on David Lee Roth's disparaging comments. You have to take what he says with a grain of salt. This might be one of the only other bands that is as dysfunctional as Kiss. So let's see what's going on here now. These guys have been trading shots back and forth for weeks now. In an interview with the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie, Eddie Van Halen's son, who joined Van Halen at just 15 years old, nepotism, was asked why he thinks Roth has called him out in such a vile fashion. He responded, "I guess I'm honored he even thinks about me as much as he seems to. I guess you have to take what he says with a grain of salt, considering he also said that he wrote Eddie Van Halen's classic instrumental Eruption and came up with the Frankenstein red, white, and black stripe pattern on Eddie Van Halen's famous guitar. He said he wrote all of the solos that Dad wrote." I didn't hear him say that, but whatever. I guess that's all I can say. I seem to have been born into this Van Halen drama that has come way before me. And I guess now my dad isn't here to be the target. I guess he went on to the next best thing. Wolfgang, you're not best or next best at anything except maybe ordered a couple extra value meals. Okay, during the same chat, he shot down the possibility of a Van Halen tribute concert involving him. "I don't want to play that music without my dad." Valid. In January, Roth posted an audio clip to YouTube in which he blasted Eddie Van Halen's son for allegedly engaging in unpleasant behavior and making poor decisions during Van Halen's final tour. "This fucking kid," David said. "He's complaining the entire tour like I'm not paying enough attention to him on stage," Roth continued. "He's complaining to everybody around me, the business manager, the security guy, the clothing lady. Dave's not paying enough attention to me." Whatever. So the fighting still goes on, and I've kind of read as this stuff goes on over the last couple months, and it's just petty shit, just like Kiss. I mean, it is what it is. I don't get what these grown-ass adults' problems are, but Mick Mars says his inability to hold his head up is the worst thing about his battle with, oh boy, ankylosing spondylitis. So yeah, Mick Mars still going through health issues. Skid Row's Rachel Bolan still takes COVID precautions. "I wear a mask on planes now." I think anybody who's been paying attention kind of knows now what most of us knew from the jump. And it's been scientifically proven that they make no difference whatsoever. So, do what you want to do if it makes you feel safe and comfortable. But I just wish people would wake up and look around beyond the top media networks and get informed, because you're actually, in my opinion, YouTube, and some other doctors have said, you're ruining your immune system by masking up. So anyway, Voivod's long-awaited official documentary, We Are Connected, to premiere at festivals this summer. Yeah. Lamb of God's Mark Morton to release Desolation, a heavy metal memoir, in June. Oh, boy. Watch Joe Satriano joined by Nuno Betancourt and Richie Kotzen for Going Down Jam. No, thank you. Judas Priest, Ian Hill on the possibility of playing with KK Downing again. I think he's gone a bit too far for that now. Again, another band who's just surrounded in drama. Judas Priest. How how does Ian Pace hope Deep Purple will be remembered in 50 years? He responds. I couldn't tell you. I really never listened to any of that. Watch Ace Frehley accidentally sets off guitar smoke effect while performing on the Monsters of Rock tour. Okay, quick technical difficulty. Had to throw on my headphones, and let's check this out. Says, accidentally set off his smoking guitar effect while performing the Kiss classic Cold Gin on March 3rd aboard this year's Monsters of Rock cruise. In video of the mishap, which occurs around the 53-second mark in the clip below, Ace can be seen apparently mistakenly rolling up a dummy tone knob, which controls the smoking mechanism, causing the guitar to emit fog from the pickup, much to the guitarist's dismay. In a recent interview with Cassius Morris, Ace discussed the engineering behind his famous smoke bomb effect, saying that, well, you have to realize when Kiss first went out, we were always trying to top the previous tour with special effects flying up in the air. So the same process is going through my head, which is what I came up with, or when it came to my guitar. Said I first came up with the idea to do a smoking guitar on our very first tour, and I put smoke bombs inside the little compartment in a Les Paul, he explained, and I used to light it with a cigarette lighter, but it ended up screwing up all the volume and tone controls, so I got together with an engineer, and he made a fake pickup on the bridge pickup, and then it was great. I had this big box. They used asbestos and everything, so it wouldn't harm the wood. The heat of the bombs, I mean, you see some of those videos in the 70s, I'm engulfed in smoke. The guitar I'm using now doesn't put out that much smoke because it's fog. And the reason I have to use fog is because to do something like that, you have to have fire marshal approve it. And sometimes they'd say you can use your smoke bombs tonight because can't use your smoke bombs tonight because there could be a fire. I met a guy and he said Germany makes these little fog machines. So I ended up putting this little fog machine inside the back of my guitar, and it worked. Not quite as much smoke as the original smoke bombs, but it doesn't look bad. Well, let's see what happens here. Apparently it's not going to let me play it. Okay, so apparently Ace can't even be bothered to sing more than 2 words per verse. It's not an Ace video. Anybody want to hear the rest of the song? Raise your hand, say aye. There's a guy back there with a bag of Doritos on his recliner, says he wants to hear it, so. Okay, I'm not sure what the hell that was with that. Was it just in my headset? It sounded like there was like a drum roll going through the whole thing, just like a weird humming vibration. I don't know what the hell that was about. Maybe it was on their sound side of the amps there. I don't know. Yeah, the fog is. I mean, obviously, as he explained, certain precautions have to be taken nowadays, but it's certainly not as climactic as the smoke. I mean, some of them legendary Ace posters we have wouldn't really have been as jaw-dropping and stunning if this is only amount that comes out. I mean, used to be a flashlight, that shine through there too, making it look like flames and smoke. I don't know, but whatever. There you go, Ace Frehley. And let's see. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing from Santa Claus here. Okay, Machine Head, don't care. We already covered that. Don't care. Triumph, nah. There was some other shit in here I wanted to check out. Okay, here we go. Gene Simmons reflects on Kiss's final performance. We did this at the right time, at the right place. I disagree. Should have been about 10 years prior, but let's see what's going on here. Speaking to Artists on Record, starring Attica Live. I'm proud that we did this at the right time, at the right place, because, I mean, let's call it for what it is. How many world champion boxers have stayed in the ring too long? Think about it. The best get knocked out by some new chump because they stayed too long. And we've all seen shows that have gone on too long, leave them wanting. 50 years is plenty. The other thing is we introduced ourselves with you wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the world. That's how you're going to introduce yourself. And you're going to come out in wheelchairs with fireballs on the sides. So that would kind of be cool, wouldn't it? So you want to get off the stage well, I don't know. Stephen Hawking did some of his best work in a wheelchair, right? Okay, so you want to get off stage while the getting is good. You don't want to become fat too late, Gene. Naked, bloated Elvis. I'm getting tired of the bullshit about Elvis. That man was on so many fucking medications. And don't ever compare yourself to Elvis, bitch. On the bathroom floor, when you're the king of rock and roll, that's not the way to go out. In a very bizarre and sad way, Marilyn Monroe will forever be iconic and young because she died when she was young. There we go. So the trick to going out on top and looking good, die when you're young. We don't have an image of her in her 70s and 80s. What's this ageism coming from an old fucking man? What the hell's wrong? I mean, Raquel Welch. I mean, there's plenty of people that did fine aging. I mean, age is not something to be ashamed of. It happens to everybody, right? So just because, so you're telling me that if you take the cod piece, the big chest plate, and the makeup and the wigs off, being a balding, beer-bellied, so let's say 60-year-old, 65-year-old, you would have stopped because you just didn't look the same as you did, man. That's never going to fucking happen. What a horrible message. We don't have an image of her in her 70s, 80s, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Yeah. Don't you love that bullshit? That's like saying, yeah, geez, this gay guy just made my skin crawl. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? It's taking the shot and then fucking trying to cover your tracks afterwards. God, I hate fucking Gene. But the great stars of yesteryear, once they quit acting, whenever they would go off the media stage, if you will, and you wouldn't hear Marlene Dietrich. I don't know what she looked like when she was 80, Greta Garbo, and so on. They would disappear, become private citizens, and that's the way to do it. Unless you're Gene Simmons. Because everybody he's describing here disappeared before they became fat, old, and irrelevant. Right? But it's okay for Gene. See, the fucking the reality this man lives in is just, you could tell he's into science fiction, right? And he is so fucking delusional that he thinks that band, and it's my favorite band, but he's got this fucking delusion that anything they do is fine. Nobody else should fucking do it, right? Everybody else is the bad example, but they're the exception. All right. Also talked about the fact that he'll perform with his solo band, the Gene Simmons Band, this spring and summer. In addition, Gene Simmons band members for the show will include guitarist Brent Woods from Wildside, Sebastian Bach and Vince Neil, Zach Throne from Corey Taylor, alongside drummer Brian Ticky from Lynch Mob, Dead Daisies, Whitesnake, Billy Idol, Foreigner, Pride and Glory, and Slash's Snake Pit. Now you would think, excuse me, man, that's an impressive resume. I look at it differently. I look at it as, what was wrong with you that you couldn't find a fucking home? Right? Whatever. We're going out with the Gene Simmons Band, he said. Of course, I get everybody takes a chance whenever you get a chance to do something in the music business, but something like that name is kind of fucking offensive, right? I mean, it's the Gene Simmons Band. In other words, their names aren't important. Their personas aren't important. Their faces aren't important. They're just Gene's bitches. That's the way it sounds to me. Whatever. Only one show in all of South America, San Paulo, but then July, August, we're heading to some festivals and joining other bands on other festivals, big outdoor shows. One of them is 80-something thousand people, Wacken in Germany. Whack it. Big, really cool bands, and we're going to show up and play. There's no stage show, nothing. We actually are using wires. We actually plug into amps the way we used to do it. No technology, no road crews, no managers, no nothing. Just show up and have fun because this band rocks. So it's really real easy having a lot of fun. And in fact, I don't know if this is happening or not, but yesterday Deep Purple contacted CAA and wanted to know whether or not I'd like to come out and tour with them. Well said. We said, yeah, sure, just depending on availability. So we'll see if that happens or not, but I wasn't planning on doing that. Asked if there's any new music from the Gene Simmons Band. Gene said, I'm open. You always have the right thing at the right place at the right time. We got the right musicians. We got the right guys. I like them. We like hanging out with each other, so that's good. For instance, Ace, former Kiss guitarist, and Paul, former Kiss vocalist and guitarist, and I've had our differences, but what family doesn't have problems. Even while we were having the differences of opinion, Ace called and said, can you help me write a song or two for this last solo record? I wasn't doing it at the time, so I said, doing anything at the time, so I said, sure. I drove out there and started off with some titles and co-wrote two things that appear on Ace's last record. There's plenty of time to do anything, but you got to make time because other stuff just gets in there. 2024 tour dates thus far. April 26th, Summer Breeze Open Air Festival in São Paulo, Brazil. Kukaracha Festival in Kukaraka, Finland. Dalhalla Amphitheater in Rättvik, Sweden. Leisberg Amusement Park at Gothenburg, Sweden. Whacket Air Festival, Open Air Festival at Whacket, Germany. Ronda Erect, Holland. Den Atweiler at Den Atweiler, Luxembourg. Neron Tuna Fest at Lierop, Netherlands. And Alcatraz Festival at Kortrijk, Belgium. Fuck the Avatars. Couldn't care less. So there you have it. The windbag himself, Mr. Gene Simmons. One moment, please. Okay, back to the news. Don't care. Mick Mars wanted his solo album to have a lot of diversity. I wanted to take you on a little short journey. Okay, whatever. Dave Grohl still sucks. Black Crowes, Slipknot. Michael Monroe says he wrote a personal letter to Vince Neil a week after their 2023 face-to-face meeting. Let's see how this went down. Did he offer him a couple cheeseburgers or By the way, I make fat jokes, right? Because I'm not a hypersensitive douchebag. Somebody actually took to the comments on one of these news videos when I was mocking Eddie Trunk, fat boy, and basically said, well, you're not, you're fat yourself or whatever the hell. Yeah. And I don't care. Call me fat. Just get over yourself, guys. Anyway, let's see. Hanoi Rock singer commented on the meeting in light of the fact that crew frontman Vince Neil caused a tragic car accident in 1984 that killed his passenger, Hanoi Rock's drummer Nicholas Razzle Dingley. Speaking about encounter with crew, Motley Crue. It was amazing. As a matter of fact, I'd been thinking for many years that there's no reason to really have any. There was some kind of animosity at one point when, because the album title they had for the box set, Music to Crash Your Car To, a media outlet called me, got in touch with me, and asked for my opinion on that. And I think I said something like, this gives a bad taste. This gave Bad Taste a bad name. And then Nikki Sixx bassist got pissed and made some negative comments after that, but I didn't get further into it after that. But I thought there was really no reason to really be. I mean, we were friends originally, and we'll always be connected by that unfortunate accident. Unfortunately, it can't be helped. But I would so much rather have that connection be on a more positive note. So there you go. Bygones, bygones. Swapped a little spit, shared a cheeseburger, a couple Big Macs. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Slash reviewed full details of his blues solo album on Friday. Nuno Betancourt sells Los Angeles home for $3.75 million. I have no idea. Don't care to read it, but I'm assuming it has something to do with the absolute ridiculous property tax, state tax regulations and bullshit in that state. So that's my guess. Seems to be that's why everybody's selling their shit and getting out. Who the hell is that? Scott Trapp believes that God's had Jesus Christ. I can't talk today. God's had a hand in making Creed reunion tour bigger than the band's original run. Okay. There we go. More from the windbag. Gene Simmons announces Facebook Live event for this Thursday, which would be today. I'll be answering your questions. Okay. Let's see. Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons. Hey, write the stuff down. It's important. That's right. Yours truly is going to be doing a Facebook Live event with you Thursday, March 7th, tomorrow. It's today, Wednesday? It is. 5 p.m. Pacific Central Time. We can chat about all kinds of events. Our Gene Simmons band is playing throughout Europe, and we're going to headline a few festivals on our own. Unbelievable, it is true. We have a film company, Simmons Hamilton Films, and a lot of other news. Love to talk to you all about it, and I'll be answering your questions live during the Facebook event. You got a question for me? Post it in the comment section below. He added, can't wait to see you live on Facebook. We're going to have a lot of fun Thursday. So there you go. Jump on and talk to Sir Windbag. Jack Russell says he's a perfectionist. If he hit a bad note, I'll beat myself up about it. He must be kicking his ass on a daily basis right now then. Queensryche, don't care. Okay, I think I've babbled and bored everybody long enough. I had no idea that I was having any Ace Frehley stuff on here, so bonus, that ought to stir up some fucking shit. And until next time, thanks for watching.